Hi, this is Mark from Skywagon University. We do a series of videos on different planes, types, models, year differences, and every now and then we get in something exceptional. This is a 2022 Rans S-21 Outbound, it's written on it. Factory built by Rans, all metal, a Titan engine, and the Titan is basically, just think of an IO360 Lycoming. 180 horsepower, fuel injected, 4-cylinder, direct drive, built by Continental. Very good, reliable engine it's got a composite prop, variable pitch, whirlwind, with it's a different hub. This plane's got actually a different hub to that in it. I'll have to find out what that is. But it's basically like new. It's got 90 hours on it, and we've got a customer for it who's going to be buying it, so it's kind of sold, but it's on our website. The seller of it is Paul Bactiel, and he lives in the Bay Area, and he has a company called Russian River Aviation, and he's selling this to buy an F-33 Bonanza. But he also is getting Skywagon. He's also getting involved with Bristol Aircraft, a not very well known name yet, but apparently up and coming and very, very interesting product. Was one of the planes is a 200 mile an hour, 2,000 foot a minute climb, Rotax 916 powered experimental they're coming out with, and he's getting one of them and he's going to do a demo tour all over the United States in it next year. So it's a Bristol aircraft experimental with a 916 in it, and his company is Russian River Aviation. You can look him up online. But this plane was built for Paul, and it's very custom. This is a 60s Corvette, maroon color on it. They're all metal. It's got 90 hours on it. Heated pitot, unbelievable avionics. We'll show you that in a minute. So let's just walk around it and see what it's like. So let's look around it a little bit. These normally, well, I say normally because we had one that was a tail dragger, but normally I think of an S-21 as a tail wheel. Obviously this is a nose wheel and it's factory built. The one we had before, on which there is a video on this channel, was a tail dragger with a Lycoming 180 horse in it. It's a very similar spec to this. And while it was here, I flew it against Juan Brown in his Husky from Blanco Lirio, and also Scott Herring from Georgetown, who's got a Carbon Cub. And we came over here and did an impromptu, sort of unofficial little stall drag to see, takeoff line, landing line, stop line, and see. And we didn't judge anybody on distances and times, but we had a drone watching them so the viewer could see. And in my opinion, this plane as a tail dragger was as good as, and in some cases better than, those two other planes. It had not quite as good a brakes as this, or I would have been able to stop it harder, and it's a tail dragger too. That is a Skywagon taking off, so that's very permittable. Cessna 180. So very good short field plane. I mean, this is a totally luxurious, all metal, 140 mile an hour cruise, 120 knot, bush plane. It'll land at 40 knots. It climbs out at 2,000 feet a minute. Manual flaps. Let's have a look at those. Just like a normal lever in here. Very conventional. Rudder, elevator, trim tab, all very conventional back here. And all metal. But the most impressive thing about it is the panel. So let's go and have a look inside there. So in the cockpit, look at this. And I'm going to be 100% honest. I can fly this stuff and I can use it, but I can't use it as effectively as Greg can, who is filming this because Don is hiking in the Sierras with his wife, and we're having to make do because this plane isn't here long enough to wait for him to get back. So we're going to see whether we can make a video. But we're going to swap roles now, and I am going to film Greg showing you what this does. Okay, over to Greg. Let's see what the avionics do.
Alright, we're going to take a look at the avionics here. We got a Garmin G3X touchscreen, a G5 standby attitude indicator, GFC 500 autopilot, GTN 650 GPS, and another G3X touchscreen MFD. So, a lot of redundancy within these systems, but we'll show you a quick little flight plan, how simple it is on this new Garmin stuff. So if we go on our 650, flight plan, departure, add a waypoint. Let's say I want to go KSAC, SAC exec. There we go. And then if we look over here, I can zoom out, and there's the course, straight to SAC exec. And if I wanted a chart with this knob, I get a full VFR chart. Now, if we come over and look at the PFD, I've got my course line on my HSI. It's already got the heading of about 237, but I don't want to hand fly this the entire time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the autopilot before we take off. To do that, I'm going to, with the altitude select knob, scroll up until I get to a cruise altitude of, let's say, 4,500 feet, and that's bugged. And then I want to just check and make sure my heading on departure off of 23 out of Placerville is bugged. And then I can click flight director, and I get my chevrons, and it's going to tell me what heading to fly when I select heading mode. And then pitch right now is set to climb up to 4,500 feet. When I take off, I can go into either a vertical speed climb, or I can go into a indicated airspeed climb and dial that up or down with the scroll wheel. Now, let's say we were IFR and I wanted to put an approach into SAC exec. I could go click on that, load procedure, approach. I want the ILS 2. We could go outside of SAC, load the approach. It gives you the warning because it's a precision approach, or not a GPS approach. The GPS is only for monitoring. You load it, and then as we're flying along, I can either do a VNAV descent if I'm just practicing the approach and the controller isn't giving me altitudes, or I can select altitudes as the approach controller gives me altitudes to descend to. But then once I'm on the approach, I can go procedure, activate approach, and then in approach mode, which it won't do it because we're not actually outside of the final approach fix, the autopilot, when I click that button, would capture the localizer and a glide slope and take it all the way down, and then I just have to click one button at minimums, which is 220 feet at exec, kick off the autopilot and land. It's a very simple system, but with the technology that airlines and corporate jets have. So this is my favorite panel setup. If I could have this in my 182, that would be a dream come true, but you can only have so much. So maybe one day.
So inside it, there's obviously the entire roof is fully transparent for excellent visibility. These are obviously the wing roots. This is the fuel gauge, and it's a sight gauge where the fuel comes in at the top and bottom, and you just see it. A gauge, a quarter, half, 3/4 full. So there is no error, there's no magnets, there's no electricity, there's no nothing. It's the exact fuel that's in the plane. And this plane holds 45 gallons of fuel. So burning about 8.5, 9 an hour, you got 4 hours of range in it. And then obviously brand new deluxe leather, everything in it. Behind here, 2 seats, so there's nothing in the back. A huge baggage area, there's a net. We've got things in it here because we just brought it yesterday from where it lived. A cargo net, big baggage area. Imagine if you were going into the backcountry in Idaho and wanted to camp for the weekend. You'd pretty much land anywhere, load all your stuff into it. and it's got a gross weight of 1,800 pounds. So it's actually very useful, and it's fast enough. A lot of Bush Stoll planes are 100 knot cruise. This is 120 knot cruise. So not only is it fast, it carries weight, it lands anywhere. It's a very, very practical and very, very useful plane. So inside it, just the general appointments. Deluxe leather seats, fully adjustable, cup holder, map holder. The headset jacks are between the seats. There's 2 Limos, there's 2 12-volt outlets, and then there's your conventional plugs back there for the headsets. And then controls wise, 2 sticks with everything on the tip. So you got trim and control wheel steering and frequency select. This outside color is also on the dash. That was a special order. Flaps here, we saw them from the outside, but it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Very conventional. And then fixed pitch prop, so it's not a constant speed. So you got your throttle and your mixture, and it's injected. Alternate air, avionics with safety guards and all the switches. Look how nice that is. Dual controls with brakes on both sides, and a comfortable seating position. You're not you haven't got your knees up under your chin. You actually want to fly. The position you're in is the position you would want to fly it in. Little appointments like sun visors, GoPro mount. This is steel tubing, but it's got like a carbon fiber wrap over it. Just very well appointed. And then the doors, they open and shut vertically, as you can see, and the handle works like this. Door comes down, over center, closed. And they bulge out. So even though if the cabin's wide, it's as wide as a 182. The cabin is wide, but the window, this is the flatness of the fuselage. The window is actually about here, so there's a lot of room in it. But overall, just an incredibly nice plane. I mean, it's as new a plane as we've had here, pretty much. So under it, the gear, carbon fiber gear legs, balloon tires, Matco brakes, very effective. It's tall too, it's off the ground, it's high. A free cast ring nose wheel that's trailing link, so it's great when it's going forwards. Going backwards, obviously you need a tow bar, and there's one with it that comes, supplied for steering it and putting it in the hangar. But very, rugged construction. I mean, and you don't put that on the ground until the last minute anyway, because you're bush flying. So this setup would be very good off airport, especially with this kind of clearance on it and the bigger tires. And it does the 140 miles an hour with these tires. Imagine what it would be like with smaller tires on it. So it's just nicely built, a very good overall construction. So this is Mark from Skywagon University, just looking over briefly a very, very nice Rans S-21 Outbound we got in. And don't you be eyeballing my Ural sidecar Russian 2-wheel drive motorcycle over there. I was in a hangar. I bought it off somebody. That's fun for just running around on the airport. As I said at the beginning, we do these videos on model year changes and different kinds of planes. There's 200 of them. And if you like the video, please subscribe, because the subscriptions are what makes it work and makes us be able to do more. We're also, Greg, as you've met before in other videos, is now working for me. He's my #1 salesman. And he is going to be taking up a bit of the slack, because I'm going to be away doing some filming for our new channel called Plane Crazy Life, which involves me, Cole Gaither from the East Coast, who does what I do, and Mike Kennedy from Airplane Repo. And it's just going to be the antics and fun involved with living with planes. And if you like it, you're plane crazy. And the first episode will be filmed at Roswell, where the Reno Air Races have been relocated to in early September. And in it, I bought an L-29 jet, and it will be racing with Bob McCormack flying it in the silver class, and hopefully it wins. And we'll be there. There'll be a lot of coverage there, a lot of filming there. And this is, we're just using a GoPro to cover this now because Don's not around, but he'll be there, and we're going to be doing a lot of filming there. So if you like it, watch that, subscribe to this, and thanks very much.